Also, to start off this session, I got a fun story for you guys.
Oh boy.
To start off the recording. So, yesterday, we decided to go and get groceries, because my family's trying to be healthier, so we're trying to get healthier groceries. So, first of all, I'm trying to help keep them apprised of how much money we're spending, because they decided, of all places, to go to Costco, and everybody knows that you save money at Costco by spending more money at Costco. So, we get up to the line, and I look down, and I'm saying, okay, well, my portion of this was supposed to be around $100 to $120. This is about $350 worth of groceries. My family's like, nah, no way. It turned out to be $351 worth of groceries. And I even said, I got it! And the cashier looks at me and she goes, that's amazing, because so few men ever do. And I sit there going, lady, no, you work here. No, you don't have to say that stuff. Anyways, later on that night, I pull out a bag of seaweed crackers that I had bought. Because I love eating, just dried seaweed. It's good, and I just never get a chance to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I pull off a piece. It's the piece breaks in half and falls on the floor. I'm like, well, crap. So I throw that piece away, bite the very small, pinky-sized piece that I got. And then I pull out another piece to hand to my sister, and I start noticing that the taste is a little bit odd. And I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of weird. Tastes like soy sauce. Interesting. So I hand the piece to my sister, and all of a sudden I notice that the piece I'm handing her has these weird brown flecks on it. And I went, that's strange. And I turn and I look at the package. And the package says, seaweed crackers with almonds. It just so happens that I am deathly allergic to nuts. And I mean deathly, literally.
That sucks.
I got to spend the next 20 minutes rinsing my mouth out and spitting into a sink, while my sister runs to Walgreens to grab some Benadryl just in case. And I learned that in addition to having to have a pain in the ass is spitting out almond seaweed crackers, but also apparently my teeth are very sensitive to cold water, so it was unpleasant all around. A total pain in the ass. And then anybody who's had Benadryl for an allergic reaction knows exactly what happened next. I spent 2.5 hours fighting going to sleep, because it was 8 p.m. when this happened. I was trying to fight going to sleep, and I was playing Final Fantasy XIV because let me do something to keep myself awake. And then they decided they were going to do maintenance that night. So no, can't even do that. Gave up, went to sleep, woke up 11 hours later.
Oh, no.
Lovely. Just lovely. That, by the way, Hockey, since we were talking about how much of a suck day today was, that was last night.
Oh, yeah, so that would make this morning pretty hard for you.
The day just kept getting worse. It's amazing.
Hey, you're here now.
That is true. We are missing one of our number.
Yeah, I don't know where James is. I haven't seen him I haven't
He's
talked to him for a
apparently
while.
looking at his hands. He has caught that most horrible disease.
It says he's playing Total War Attila.
Every time I come to this server, it's like permanent resident of that voice channel.
It's kind of unusual. He's usually very punctual.
Yeah, the last time we were going to do it and I had to cancel, I think he also didn't realize till the next morning, so.
Yeah, that is also true.
I think it's just been a while since we've met up.
It's not only been a while, but James is really busy
It's also
helping with the rest of the channel.
Well, to pass along another story, this one actually D&D related.
Mm-hmm.
So, in another Discord, a friend of mine learned that I play D&D. And I guess she came to the conclusion that I am better at the game than I am, and more knowledgeable of the game than I am. So she comes to me and she says, okay, look, our D&D group, we're missing someone for the next week, so we're going to do a battle royale, a one-shot. I said, okay. She goes, can you help make a character? I went, probably not, but let's try anyways. And it turns out it was right up my alley because she decides she wants to make a paladin. So, thankfully, I know at least a couple of the levels. And if I remember correctly, she decided she wanted to be like a level 7 paladin or something like that. So, not a low-level one, because they were all starting at about level 7, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that looks about right. Level 7. No. 9, sorry, because she did have her 3rd level spells. So, the one thing she wanted to do in this Battle Royale was take down her boyfriend. Had apparently bragged that he was going to be playing some stealth class that was going to kill everybody without ever being discovered. And we had no idea what it was. So, we spent about an hour and a half going through Paladin 2, and I was sitting there, and I was looking at some of the things in Paladin that I never knew were so cool. For example, Oath of Vengeance would never work for Reed, but my god, is it cool. The crap you get to do. So we're going through and also just realizing some of the stupid stuff that I could do if I could only make it work for Reed. So we're going through, we're deciding all this stuff. Her big hang-up ended up being over feats. Because she was having trouble deciding what feats she actually wanted. She didn't know what the other 4 or 5 players were going to choose, so she had to kind of, like, guesswork her feats. We gave her a couple of options. She wanted to be a, what is the, I forget the dragon race.
Dragonborn.
Yeah. She wanted to be Dragonborn until we went over and she realized that there was literally no point, that it wouldn't help her at all. She'd get 1 breath attack, and that's all she'd get. She, one of the big things is she started with, I think, a belt of Hill Giant Strength, a set of gloves that basically let her do the monk grab shit out of midair thing, and I forget what it was, some other enchanted piece. So we go through, we talk about it, we decide what she wants to do, and then I don't hear anything for 2 weeks. So 2 weeks later, she comes back, and she tells... So first of all, so her boyfriend went for a, trying to remember the class combo he went. I think he went for a Sorcerer Warlock build. I forget the feat he used, but it's some extremely long-range feat where he used his Warlock, the Warlock spell that, Dratan...
Increases the range, and then probably something that increases the, like, Spell Slammer, which increases the range even farther.
Yep, that's exactly what he did.
There is only one counter to that when it comes to it. If, first off, open terrain is, like, the only place that really works, because otherwise you are found usual measures, not to mention that, depending on the race, you shouldn't even be able to see that far.
Yeah, he was, I forget what ended up happening to him. Apparently someone caught him unawares and just eviscerated him in 1 attack round.
There's a better version of that. It's a combination of Rogue and Warlock, where you take the invocation that lets you see through magical darkness, and then also take Hex and Area where you cast darkness on.
Nice.
Well, here's the problem. That wouldn't have worked because of what ended this round. So the Paladin, she lasted a while, which was, she was very happy because that's all she wanted. So the match ended when one of the characters, and I don't know the kit, unfortunately, one of the characters summoned a sperm whale and dropped it on their opponent. And if I remember correctly, let me see. Did she give me the detail? Damn, I don't have the details anymore. But she was giving me the details, and it did something to this effect of like 16d6 damage, or something higher than that. I'm actually trying to look for it now, but this was almost a month ago.
That's hilarious.
Well, apparently it was a combination of 2 different things. It's a combination of the weight of the drop, and it was like a 2-ton whale, and then also the amount of distance the whale dropped, which also does damage. Apparently, it's also how it's like the calculation is how the locate city bomb works. Apparently, I'm trying to see if I can find
What?
the exact damage on that.
What the hell can summon a whale like that long?
I don't know. Well, they're level 7. That's not low.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be
A
able to.
druid can eventually turn into a whale. Yeah,
Let's see. Did they? I can't remember where they put this damage. I'm looking for it because I definitely want you guys to hear how stupid this was, but I don't remember if she wrote it down or if she just told me. It was a stupid level of damage, and it's like, well, I am so glad we don't have to deal with this shit sometimes, because it gets bad enough in our games without having to deal with whales dropping on our heads.
That reminds me of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yep.
You know what it was?
yeah, I
Hold on a
remember.
second. I think I figured it
I
out.
remember.
Psycho, what does that spell? You use summon animals, correct?
Yeah.
Where is it in the compendium?
Let's see. Ranger. No, it's the druid spell, right?
Yes.
Yep.
That's a druid.
Most likely.
I'm looking for it.
All right, I think I'm figuring it out right now. Conjure animals, not summon. And then I think it's at higher levels.
Is
You
it
choose.
conjure animals?
Yeah, but I didn't know you could do something like that.
Okay, it doesn't work for conjure animals, so no.
Well, remember, these guys were at least, I think they were at least level 7.
Yes, but here's the thing. It was the only spell I could think of that allows you to summon an animal. But a whale is a challenge rating of 3, and you can only summon a challenge rating of 2.
Yeah. Let's see. She also had mithril armor, apparently. And cloak of protection. So
I
some
love
cool
where
stuff.
our adventures bring us.
Okay, apparently I got the level wrong. It looks like it might have been level 12.
It doesn't matter for levels, though.
Well, but that might change what spell it was. You might be looking for a
Yeah.
different spell at level 12. Yeah, they start at level 12, not level 9. Or 7, or 6, or any of the other things that I said. It was specifically 12. But I don't know. It might not have even been a druid. That's the thing. It could have been something else. We never figured out what it actually was. Or she never told me what it actually was that did it. What spells does the druid get? See,
Animal things.
level 12, they're using 6th level spells. Bard, druid, okay. I'm looking. I'm trying to think what it could be. Could it be something like polymorph, maybe?
Let's say polymorph like a bird in the sky into
I'm wondering if
No.
that's what it is, because polymorph is a spell that they get. Let me see how that works. No, because the new form has to be any beast whose challenge rating is equal to or less targets. So you'd have to. So you said a challenge rating 3, right?
Yes.
So you'd have to find. You'd have to get a challenge rating 3 for that to even work.
Well, to be fair, there are a lot of.
Well, how about
challenge ratings we
how about conjure woodland beings? Would that get you a challenge rating 3?
I think that's just fame.
No, that's level 2. Well, it doesn't matter. Polymorph doesn't care what it is. All it cares is what challenge rating is it.
Also, apparently a whale can bite for 5d6 before damage.
Wait, say again?
A whale can bite for 5d6
Oh.
plus 4 damage.
Nice.
So did it bite as well after it fall?
No, it was the fall. It was the fall that did everything. Could it be conjure elemental?
There can be
I
some.
don't think whales are elementals.
An elemental
Yeah, but
challenge rating 5 or lower, so it could be an elemental.
And then they polymorph the
And then
element.
polymorph it.
Could be that.
Which is fantastic. I like it.
Could have like conjured an elemental above them and just
Yeah, exactly.
ordered it to fly over the sky.
A lot of
Wait,
spells.
can wind elementals fly?
Having fun there, Hockey?
What was that?
There's your answer.
I asked if
Sorry,
you were having
He's stuffing
fun.
his face.
I was
Yeah,
actually having fun while you listened to us talk about semantics of
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
summon a whale on top of somebody.
Playing nasty tricks for you guys, so I'm having tons of fun.
Oh, fantastic.
No,
did these have anything to do with whales appearing in midair?
No, I've gone through high level spell lists and tried to think logically how to use them well. So this is fun.
Oh, okay.
No, but continue, carry on. I
It's
think I'll give. Well, it's up to you guys. Should we give James another couple minutes, or should we just start?
has anybody direct messaged him?
fun with waiting.
I haven't.
I'll go and do that.
I'll do it. Or are you
I
doing
just
it?
poked him.
I think we're all about to do this.
I mean, everybody should
Let's
do it.
all do it.
Wake the fuck up.
I mean, we already lost our cleric, so also losing our wizard would be a bad thing.
And at that point, our petition that we get another person. It's a lot more fun with 5.
A lot more fair with 5.
I also
That
can't
too.
wait till our next session because I know what's happening in that session and it's going to be fun.
Oh, no.
Walking Gods, you mean?
Walking Gods.
Nice.
I have a
yes.
plan that I've literally been planning since the day after our last session.
Also, we just lost Kai. Nope, there's Ziz.
I mean,
There he blows.
Zixo is. Hey, Zixo. Hello? Are you here? No?
In your hands and
Okay, apparently you
That
can't
channel's
talk to
muted.
each other in that channel.
yes, the
It's the auto AFK. It's where you put people who just stick around in a chat room or a voice room.
Yeah, I was trying to poke him in there, but apparently you can't talk in that channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried that too. I imagine maybe his speakers or something will be plugged in. And he's just out cold.
But hey, I'm level 5 in what's it, Bard now, so I get the
Oh,
actual good
did
parts
we
of
level
being
up?
Bard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at the
we
end of
leveled
last
up.
session, you guys leveled.
Did I actually do that? That's the question.
I
I
don't know.
did,
It's been
okay.
like 2
Yes,
months,
I
man.
did.
I don't really remember stuff.
Hasn't been that long, I don't think.
It's been a month and a half.
Wow. After a very long time. Apparently I did level up. Okay. That's wonderful. You know what we haven't
I
done,
should probably
though?
check them.
We haven't actually had a short or long rest in like 4 sessions, so we should get on that.
We took a long rest at the end of last session because we had spent all of our spell slots helping.
Well, if I remember
deal
correctly,
with
we
what
didn't
happened.
decide that yet. We got back to the inn. We were talking about it, and then we're just like, nope, end of session. We're stopping now. We'll talk about it next time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the two letters were delivered to Adric and Dratan.
Dratans
Yep.
is the bill for breaking the bridge.
No, mine is very different, and I'm.
Oh,
I've
Hockey!
been
How
thinking
could you
about
not do that?
That's gonna come in like a week. You still haven't heard about it yet.
Billing for breaking the bridge. Oh god.
It's gonna be a letter from Adric like, hey guys, I had to leave. By the way, this was delivered to me on accident. I believe it belongs to Jatan.
Turns out I needed to take like 5 investment loans from Edrithian. Now I'm like fucking neck deep in debt.
Turns out the person who actually loans the money actually happens to be
Turns
So
out
the next several sessions are Jatan begging Reed to get him off the hook, and he's like, dude, I got nothing to do with that. That's my older brother, and he's older than me.
I think I didn't level up my health.
The disturbance picture is no longer there. I don't remember which picture that was, but it no longer exists. It apparently was not that important.
disturbance.
Yeah, I have the handouts open, and specifically that picture no longer exists.
Oh, the disturbance. You mean the freaking lady?
Oh, is that what that picture was?
I think it was.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Now we know who that was.
What are you guys talking about?
Looking at handouts, one of the handouts links is broken.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I'll just remove that.
Still haven't heard back from Mr. Baldrick.
From who?
Mr. Baldrick. He was a bard that we think, maybe a minstrel.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I know who you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, I've got like nearly every important name written into my list of allies and organizations, allies, enemies, and acquaintances, just so I can keep track of people.
We have the group notes that you could totally use.
I probably do, but I keep this stuff for myself because it's also how I remember people.
I mean,
Do we have a
it would
picture
help
for
us
him?
it would help us remember people.
It probably would, but I do this more for me.
You lazy person.
Listen, all right. My character takes the time to learn people, learn their names, and talk to them and remember them.
So does Reed, but that doesn't
Well,
mean
then write
I
it down.
do. Reed is not me. He's a different person. To be fair, I wouldn't step in front of a spell aimed at Jatan, but Reed probably would.
The key knows probably.
Probably. I wouldn't hope too much.
Oh shit! I have so much stuff that I have to tell to Limpronius.
You keep on naming these names.
Exactly. This one, though, I don't think you would remember anyway because your character wasn't there. It was Limpronius is the owner of a bookstore in Altmer Cove that I met too.
Oh, now I remember.
Exactly.
I remember. Reed doesn't. But again, that's that whole I'm not Reed, and therefore I'm allowed to remember and not remember stuff that he remembers or doesn't remember. That sentence totally makes sense if you think about it for a few moments and turn your head to the side and shrink.
Okay, should we just start so we get a little bit of a session today and
Yeah.
meet up with James later? Okay.
I don't think I added my health.
What was that?
I don't think I added my health. So I need to do that.
Do we need to last
divide it
time
by
on
your-
Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, we might want to since it's been a month and a half, but Psycho, go ahead and about roughly what it comes out to.
Divided by my hit die, what?
Never
Yeah,
mind,
that's
I will
6.
do it for you. LSR 35. That works because your
That's not bad.
Constitution's 2. So yeah, it works.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Tratan is. What are you? No, character sheet. Character sheet.
I'm at 36 right now.
36. And Adric pumped everything into his stuff,
Adric
so
had
he was
huge
7.
levels of health.
Yeah. What was he at, like 50, 60 something?
He's like
57. And poor Zixo. Oh, Zixo was at 42? How'd that happen?
That is a very good question. How did that happen? He's barely behind me.
He had pretty good rolls for HP.
That's a good point. I have not.
All right. Who wants to do the recap? from what you guys remember.
Okay, I totally will.
Cool.
Okay, so last time, should my memory be correct, if it isn't, you're not allowed to correct me, this is now canon. We were inside of a fantastic tavern, and in the middle of the tavern, for some weird reason, a woman ran us. So, some of us tried to kind of attack her and do things, and it didn't work. Reed tried to walk up and talk to her and reason with her. That also didn't work. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, a wizard who's behind us that only 3 of us actually paid attention to vanished. And using the standard Night Watch rules of if they run, they're guilty, 3 of us, it didn't work. He got away because we're terrible at tracking things. But for some reason...
Excuse me. I want to correct that. 4 people started chasing. I stopped the minute I got out the door.
Don't think it was 4 people. I'm pretty sure it was 3. Reasonably certain it was 3. Because Adric stayed, you stayed, James ran.
I was also there.
I think
for a
Kai
while.
ran.
James got out. No, I was with you. You go.
You went with me? Okay.
Psycho went.
2 people left.
Psycho was the first. I chased him after him and then said, "Fuck it, I'm not going." So then I came back inside. Hey, that's the basis of it, man.
Yeah.
I'm a short little man.
So,
Anyway,
anyways.
past that.
So they chased. They lost him because reasons. Reed decided that once this lady too, so he jumped on his magical space horse and chased with them. He got to them, tried to figure out what they were chasing. No one had any. And they gave up. At about the time they gave up, boom! Big awesome special effects came from the wall of the fort. Naturally being of the opinion that something's going on over there, and therefore I should be over there to defend the helpless, Reed took off. And by took off, I mean reared his horse back and almost fell off, if not for a wonderful save by Dratan. Now, the reason Dratan was able to do this save is he somehow convinced
No, I think
Adric...
it was Zix. Wasn't it Zixo?
No, Reed was the one who was going to fall off. But-
Right, but wasn't Zixo the one with you?
So, well, Zixo was with me, but the reason
Yeah, I think so.
Dratan saved me is that in the
Okay.
middle of this whole event, in the middle of the inn, in troops, a bunch of this, Dratan just sits there, sings a quick chord, and forces Adric to admit to a gigantic fart that caused the entire disturbance, thus earning inspiration. So when Reed rolled a 0 on "Let's stay on my goddamn horse," Shannon went, "Wait a minute! Changing the laws of reality, stay!" Which somehow worked. So with Reed on the horse, they took
You
off.
heard the song from that far away.
Yeah, exactly. So, now on the horse, something. When they arrived, they found Douchebag Mish Douchebagger Pants, whose name I'm never going to remember, but it has something to do with,
One
Nope,
second,
I know
have
it's
it
an
written down.
I-O something or other, and it reminds me of Knights of the Old Republic, and I can't remember why.
1 second, I got
It's
it. Don't say
Iridian.
Iridian.
Iridan. Iridan.
Iridan.
Iridan Macenta.
That one. So we found him somehow having escaped with a bunch of people. So Reed made the fantastic decision of couldn't do anything at all because he was his initiation roll. So he didn't get to go first. The 2
And a bunch
assholes
of
who got
bombs
to go
tossed
first.
at him.
The 2 assholes who got to go first were apparently apprentices of the Green Goblin and threw pumpkin bombs. Pumpkin Bomb 1 hits, does damage. Pumpkin Bomb 2 hits, destroys the space horse, knocks Reed to the ground. So Zixo, having a wonderful head on his shoulders, pops a potion in Reed's throat and says, "Faster than you," and takes the fuck off. At about this time, all the enemies look at Reed and go, he's dead, and they start leaving. Reed gets up, brushes himself off, looks over and says, "Oh, god damn it," pulls out a spear and hucks it at Eridan. Now, the gods were apparently smiling at Reed because this gigantic javelin toss going a full, 115 feet, and because Reed was feeling particularly vindictive, which is a really weird feeling because he's a paladin, but let's just go with it, also did Entangling Vine, something like that. It's some sort of spell that holds the guys there, but that didn't really do a damn thing. Ensnaring Strike. And then Reed took off because he doesn't like to die. Even though he does it a lot. It's kind of one of those weird things. So they left. So, naturally, Eridan also leaves. So Reed and the rest are hanging around for a second, trying to figure out what to do, when lo and behold, because this is just our hero's luck, a whole troop of troops come down to figure out,
Hold
hey,
on.
you're really close and armed, and you're close to that set of smoke, you must have done it.
1 second. As this was just before they arrived, me and Adric show up. Hey guys, what's going on? Holy shit.
That may have had something to do with the fact that Reed was covered in smoke, and the magical pixie dust horse was missing. So we get interrogated, and it just so happens that this time Dratan kept his mouth So Reed was able to make sure we did not get arrested. In fact, Reed volunteered himself, and somehow, through a weird series of events everybody else, to go and heal people. This turned out to be very, very good, because there was like 25 some odd people who were probably gonna die otherwise. Weary and tired, and dear God, we haven't slept for like 4 sessions. We trooped back to the inn where we may or... Ta-da!
Well done. Well done.
What
was that?
Like
Oh,
we left
he's
it up. They were walking to the pub.
Are you talking in the background, Kai, or is that to us?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, so you guys, I think you decided to take a long rest since you were all expended.
Mhm.
I really hope we did.
Mm-hmm.
And prior to going to sleep, the innkeeper had a pair of letters that she handed to you. I believe everybody was weary enough that they just retired to their rooms and fell asleep. The night passes uneventfully, and you each wake up. And were you guys in separate rooms? You guys all had your own rooms,
Yes.
didn't you?
Separate
If I remember
rooms.
correctly, Zixo
And-
slept outside because
Mhm.
the dog wasn't
Yep, the
allowed in
dog.
the room. And
Mhm.
I swear 2 people had to share a room.
Do you remember who that was?
I want to say it was
not
Reed
Kai.
with someone, but I can't remember who Reed was with. It may have been Zixo before Zixo went out to the stable.
I think it was
Oh, okay.
Psycho. It was LSR and Adric,
Maybe.
if I remember correctly. Because one volunteered, the other one said, "Okay, I'll hang out." And
Okay. All right. So, LSR, when you awake, you notice that the bed that, on the pillow, and nothing else. There's no other evidence of him. And each of you wake up at this point. It's morning. You can hear the innkeeper and the waitresses downstairs.
So full long rest, we're all good for spell slots.
Mhm.
Something? Okay.
You're all good. Night passed uneventfully. Nothing happened.
Are you sure we're playing the right game? This is D&D. That never happens.
I don't know. Psycho, are you here now? Had to go to the toilet. You might not be back yet.
well, time to find
Yeah,
the
before that, Reed, I have something for you.
Someone
Hello?
pumped into his room out of nowhere.
Just... Hey, you awake? You awake? Hey, you awake? Hey, good! I was hoping to not catch you asleep. Here, I have something for you.
We are downstairs right now, right?
I mean, Reed would have probably been trying to get an early start today. So, because he's got shopping he has to do. So if you're catching him, he'll probably be having a quick breakfast.
Yeah, I probably might I need only 4 hours of.
That's right, you bastards only need 4 hours of sleep. That's right.
Little trance thing.
So most likely you'll walk into me while you wake up. You come downstairs. So troubles with your luck. And there it is. Got it?
Oh, there you go. That was one of the artifacts you guys pulled out of the
The alien
twisted tentacle alien guy.
Oh, right, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, I believe you will be most suited for this.
I mean, Reed's going to reach for it. He's going to kind of look over a little bit, and he says, I appreciate this, but I do have armaments of my own. I don't understand how another blade is going to help me with luck.
It's not just any blade. Zixo has told me that it's like a very lucky blade.
A lucky blade. Well,
I don't know a lot about magic, but yeah, maybe it will bring you some luck.
Well, I suppose I need to talk to Zixo about that and figure out what he means by lucky blade, but I do greatly appreciate it. With what we've been dealing with in the past, I think anything will help.
Hey, he's back.
Okay, Zixo. So, I think you and Adric were sharing a room, and so before I realized that you weren't gone, I explained that when you woke from your trance in the middle of the night, you see no sign of Adric. His gear is gone. His bed has not been slept in, and there is a note on the pillow. You see the note is the letter that was delivered to him the night prior, before you guys went to sleep, and it's still in its envelope, but the envelope has been opened. And there's a small note written on the outside of the envelope in Adric's hand that says, "So."
Oh man.
And if you care to look inside the note, the letter, where did I put that? It's right here. You open the letter. It's a faded yellow parchment. Seems to be old. It's not something that's been fairly new or written recently. This is a little old. It says, "Dear Adric, I hope this letter can reach you, as I'm putting all of my trust into this elven courier to not only escape my current location, but to also track you down and deliver it. My boy, I never wanted to send you a letter under these grave circumstances, yet if I could, I would spare you from the oncoming pain, but alas, I am unable. What I'm about to tell you is something that has scarred me each time I have looked upon you. I have kept certain facts about your background secret only in order to protect you, never for any other reason. However you find this letter, you must know that I love you like the son I never had, and that I wish the circumstances of this account could be different. Adric, my son, your mother, she was killed by assassins years ago for bearing an offspring that could potentially lay claim to her inheritance by these same assassins who undoubtedly think their tortures can uncover some hidden secret concerning your whereabouts. I have given this letter," and then it cuts out. There's illegible scratches, and at the bottom of the page, in hurried script, it says, "They come," and it's signed Ballroom.
You just had to give a plot hook that Reed's gonna want to follow, huh? That we can't
Yeah,
follow
but
for like 3 months.
Yeah, you guys don't know where he went though, so.
Psh,
We don't
Reed's
know
got
where he
money.
went.
So-
Money buys information.
Reed, your family though, man. There was that big scare about your mom.
You're the guys who convinced him to wait on that.
Yeah, well, we can stop waiting.
Keep
We
in
did our
mind, Reed
job.
is downstairs, looking at a weird sword and getting ready to go outside. He's not with you.
Fair enough. Besides, I'm not there either.
Yeah.
I am currently in my room looking over a letter that I received last night, and I'm very confused.
So it's morning in the inn. There's people downstairs. I think Reed and Kai are downstairs. Kai just gave him a sword. Zixo is still out in the stable. And so yeah, you guys go ahead. What are you going to do?
Well, Reed had plans to go out and restore his equipment and effects, so he's gonna go do a little bit of shopping.
Okay. Psycho
I
and
can
Dratan, are you
stay
guys...
I'm just gonna eat.
Okay.
Just
All right, I'm
discovered
finally
what shopping does.
after having looked over the letter and processed it for what I can, I finally come down the stairs and take a seat next to my companions and realize that one man is missing. Is Adric still asleep? Why is nobody? Did something happen to
I
him?
haven't.
Reed has
I haven't
left.
seen
He's
him around.
he's shopping, or on his way to shopping.
Okay, bye.
The innkeeper
Yeah,
overhears
that's
your
it.
question, and she says, "Oh, dear, your dwarf friend? Oh, yes, he paid his tab and left early, soon after you all retired to your rooms."
I didn't think I insulted him that badly.
He was terribly embarrassed about his fart that he had last night.
I'm blushing.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, you guys just eating there? Should I transition over to Nai, and you guys just gonna eat, or you guys have plans
Yeah.
for the day?
eat, have a little bit of conversation with my friends over here. You can go ahead and do nice stuff.
Okay, Nye, where are you headed?
So first would just probably get a location of a reputable blacksmith. He's got to buy a few javelins because he's down to only 2, and he should probably have more in stock. So mostly simple errands.
And Kai, are you with him? Did you go? Are you going with him?
No, I stay behind. Yep.
You stay
I'm in
behind.
the-
Okay. Before you left, Nye, you asked your companion, Kai, where the blacksmith was that they visited the night before. And so you head over there. As you get closer,
Kai told him the way it was like really sad face, From this, he was reminded what happened to him.
And as you get closer, you hear the ring of hammer and anvil, and you turn a corner and you see the sign for Hot Pokers and Furnace. Entering, you see the same scene. You see off to the left a few apprentices getting the forge warmed up and beginning the day, getting their tools out and stoking the fire, checking their instruments, and you see a largish elf, obviously a smith, and he greets you. He says, "Good day, sir. What can I do for you today?"
Reed greets him pleasantly. It's a nice morning. Reed actually slept. It's wonderful. And he kind of gestures to the somewhat travel-worn javelin he's taken with him as an example, and asks, "Well, I need to replenish some of my adventuring supplies. So I need to find myself a couple more javelins to purchase, and need to have some minor repairs done to my arms and armor."
Of course. And he says, "May I take a look at your armor?"
Absolutely. And off comes the chainmail Reed shield, which is very beaten up at this point. There's been adventures. And, of course, longsword, just kind of basic potential need for a little bit of hammering out and such.
Okay, and he expertly looks it over and agrees, "Oh, these will be minor repairs. I should have these done by, probably tomorrow morning."
And Reed nods in understanding. That sounds perfect. And do you all have javelins I'd be able to purchase?
Yes. Unfortunately, the guard has sent in an order that has depleted my stock, so the price is quite high for some sort of military weapon, of course. But I hope you understand. And he brings out a bundle of javelins. There's 10 or 12 of them, and he says these will be 40 silver pieces each.
And Reed kind of nods. It's understandable. Okay, I will definitely be able to do that. And out of curiosity, I'm looking for some more mundane things, rations and things of the like. Do you know where I might be able to get some more of those?
Oh, yes, just trail rations, or are you looking for restaurants?
Oh, trail rations. We're probably going to be moving on soon.
Oh, yes. We've got Arvin at the merchant store. I believe he calls it Wyvern Punch. He's an old gnome. He's quite eccentric, but yes, he can help you out.
Wonderful.
And he gives you directions. It's a few blocks away.
And one more question, if you would. I've come across 2 potions that I have no idea what they do, and I'm kind of loath to try them. Do you have any idea where I could go to maybe have someone identify what these do?
Oh, potions, you say?
Yeah, and Reed will pull out the 2 potions that I think they got from Erdan, if I remember correctly, and kind of gestures spoils of war, and unfortunately, I do not know what they do.
Sure. He, the old human, he's also sort of an eccentric fellow. He's from way off to the west, I believe, the seas. He's come here and he's over near the Temple District. I think he could probably be your best bet. I've heard good things about him.
Oh, fantastic. I'll head along his way, and I will see you back, maybe late tomorrow to come pick up my effects.
All right. I do need a down payment, and I'll need payment for these javelins.
Naturally, and Reed starts counting out, silver pieces. And what down payment do you need for the repairs?
The repairs as a whole will most likely be, and he looks it over one more time. Says so four. So a down payment of half that should suffice.
Well, that's just fine, and Reed counts those out as well.
Okay.
And with payment done, he's likely to start moseying his.
Okay. And which one is that?
Probably the most important.
Okay. So the rations. All right.
I told you, really boring, literal errands.
Yep. No, that's fine. We can roleplay them unless we want to do. We want to do other stuff. You know, if we want to go back and read Dratan's letter, but.
Oh, don't worry about insulting friends as they sit and say nothing back to me. Hi guys, hello.
Hello. I
perfect.
looked up with my face stuffed full of bread.
Okay, the general store. And is there anything else you need, or is it just rations?
Give me a second to check what he has on to see if he needs anything else.
Let me pull up.
Because it's been some time since he was last buying equipment, so I imagine there's some stuff he needs.
Sure. Let me pull these out, and I will
Let's see.
link them to Discord really fast.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list here.
Oh yeah, if you've got the list, then sure.
Yeah, I'm looking through the player's handbook in the equipment section.
Okay.
Let's see. So he'd probably be getting. He already got the weapons. He'd probably be getting rations, some extra rope because last rope we used was for Eridan himself. There's so much cool shit in here that we would never, ever, ever, ever use.
And then we would need it, and we would be sad we didn't grab it.
Right? Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, off that deserting party member. Someone in our party has to have a 10-foot pole, right? I mean, we have one. We need one.
I mean, I got one, but I don't whip it around like the rest of you guys would.
I got a quarter
Okay,
star.
as you are sort
Yeah.
of perusing the aisles of the store, this old, shriveled up gnome with just sort of a greasy trails of wispy white hair shuffles over to you. He's missing several teeth, but he approaches you and, "Hi, good morning. What can I help you with?"
And Reed will, naturally be asking for some of the most basic stuff. Asking for some trail rations because he's a lot lower than he would have liked so far. And also, he definitely needs to get some rope because we no longer have rope, or at least he no longer has rope.
Rope, oh, of course, the staple of any adventurer. I've got silk rope or hemp rope. I've even got magic rope.
And even though he knows it's a terrible idea to ask, Reed's eyebrows do go up, and he says, "Magic rope, you say?"
Oh, yes, wonderful stuff that will tie a knot when you wish and will untie the knot when you wish.
And so, just absolutely, amused, Reed kind of nods, encourages him. Oh yes, and how much would that cost, per se?
Oh, this is wonderful stuff, and it can be yours for the small sum of 7,500 gold pieces.
And far from being, Abbott Costello from last time, Reed actually chuckles and shakes his head and says, "I'm afraid that's a little out of my price range. I think hempen rope shall suffice."
I understand. I understand. We have hempen rope, 50 feet of it, for 1 gold piece.
So Reed nods. Okay, that would do just fine. And do you have anything in the way of field rations?
Yes. I have been trying to look for that, honestly, and I've got different shops.
I saw it earlier.
What's it say in the book? How much is it in the book?
God damn it! I just saw it.
I want to say it's like 10 silver pieces. Or is it 5 silver pieces or something?
God damn it! I just saw it in the book. Yeah, it's something small like that. Where was it? 1 day of rations is 5 silver pieces.
Okay. And so he offers that to you.
And so Reed will get himself, let's say, another 5 days worth. So 25 silver pieces.
25.
This is the most the most entertaining thing for everybody else to listen to, I swear.
And he says, "Oh, are you sporting to do some traveling?"
Reed looks a little bit thoughtful and says, "Yes, I imagine we will. We've been traveling for a good many days, and I have a feeling that we'll be traveling for a good many more."
"Oh, I hope you don't go towards the south. I've heard terrible rumors from down there."
Up go the eyebrows again. Terrible rumors, you say?
"Oh, yes, you haven't heard?"
I suppose I haven't.
It's been all over town the last few days. There's stories of haunted figures and zombies and even I do hope the council sends one of their legions to sort things out.
And Reed thinks quietly and says, "You know, we just came from the south."
Yeah, what part?
Sorry, looking through the book real quick. Also, maps, things like that, trying to remember things from months ago.
Yes.
Oh, we had a map, please. Big, readable. We had
Edrithian Peninsula, yeah.
There we go. Well, we had come by way of Altmore Cove, so we had traveled 5 days. I don't recall seeing any particular undead.
Oh, my good boy, I've heard terrible things in Bjornstag, and even more south in Netherhill. The merchants from there have claimed.
Well, as we had left Altmore Cove, we were bringing word of a potential hobgoblin incursion that we were requesting help, but that was about as far as we had heard.
Greenskins and undead. Oh, I surely hope that the council sends their legion. That's the only way to get this all straightened out. And he bustles, about getting your stuff packed up and gives you change for the cost of the goods and whatnot.
Reed looks kind of thoughtful as to what he's heard and nods.
Good day, sir. Have happy travels.
And off goes Reed for potion stuff.
Okay, and back to Dratan. Because I want to hear this, what you're talking to your friends about.
Well, I have been staring at them with the look. Last one, with the look of a like the person who just told a really bad, corny joke, and he's waiting for a response with the open mouth smile. And so far, they're giving me nothing, and I'm just like, Did something happen? Why is no one of you talking?
This is to you, Kai, and to you, LSR.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there eating.
He just stares back at you. Just.
I twitch.
What?
I twitch.
When you said something, I have learned to not to listen to you. So could you repeat that? That's important.
Well then, I see how people have said to treat me. Anyway, back to the important stuff. The letter I received last night came from my old master Beethoven. Apparently, he's somehow become a baron? There's a lot of details in the letter. Plus, he's amazing alliterations. Here, let me show you. And I start showing off every single D word that he put in the top part of it. You don't see the rest of the letter. The only thing you see is to the dramatic, destitute demagogue.
Demagogue.
Demagogue?
Demagogue.
Demagogue.
Demagogue of the draconian denizens of the desert Tratan. That's all you can see of the letter.
And Adric over the wind going, "Are you sure he's not saying his wife?"
In the distance, in like the mountains nearby, he turns his head and goes, "But the wife," to the inn.
I'm so glad we have camera directors for this. It's amazing.
Someone should animate it.
Yeah.
It really should happen.
No, not all of it.
Oh.
That would have been a bit much.
That would have been a bit much. Although I would have loved you if you did.
Yeah, it's good to know that we have a lot of enemies now. Yeah.
That our names are now known. Or at least our relative types, I guess?
You told us that you were already famous.
No. I told you my dream was to become famous. And I've done it.
You are now.
Ah, you have achieved your dreams. I wish I could say the same for the rest of us.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it.
So you guys, what